Hello, welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Make Along with the August card kit. I'm Shannon, and today we're going to create 2 cards using the card kit and an additional card, a bonus card, where we use the August layering stencils of the month. Let me grab the cards here. These are the cards we're going to make. Even though this is kind of like the focus card and this is the bonus card, let's hold it right side up. We're actually going to start with this card. I'm going to go ahead and move the camera, switch camera views, and let's get to our other view here. There we go. Perfect. And the reason why we're going to actually start with this one first is because we need, I'm going to pop over to the comments there. There you go. Hi. Oh, good. I'm glad you're like, I'm trying each month to do a different monthly mini product. So each month I'm trying to do something different than the one I did previously. So I've done the clear stamps and dies last make along. I think I did the fancy die the time before that. So this time I'm using the layering stencils, which I love. I wish I could do them all because each one is so fun. But yeah, I'm glad you're excited that we're using the layering stencils today. That's awesome. So we're actually going to start with this card because of drying times. That's what I was trying to get out. That's why we're starting with this one, because I use actually the olive wax, hero wax, that's included in the August card kit of the month. And just, hi, Rosie, how are you? And just a reminder, I'll put up what the card kit was, what the August card kit was. This is the August card kit again. So much amazing stuff. This is still available if you want to purchase it. But we'll be, for right now, we're going to start with the wax from that, and then we'll be using the layering stencils. So we're going to use the olive wax, which of course the olive wax you can purchase separately. It's not only available in the card kit. It's a really pretty wax, and I don't know if you can see, like it has like a shine to it, a little bit different than like the hero pastes. And we did get a couple places where here and here it pulled the cardstock up. I don't know if you guys have ever had that happen before you with the wax, the paste. We're going to try to avoid it, but if it does happen again, I'll show you some tricks to kind of cover it up. But that's something we're going to try to avoid today. I'm going to share some of my tips for avoiding that, but we will do it might happen even still. Okay, so since we're starting with the bonus card, the first thing you're going to need is an A2 panel of Arctic cardstock. You're going to need that. Oops, that sounds so loud. Aren't they awesome? The dies are amazing, Rosie. Aren't they amazing? I love leaf dies. I have a waffle flowers. It's a waffle flower grip mat. I'm going to use that to hold my stencils in place. You could always just tape them down. We're going to start with those stencils. And they are all labeled, but mine, I was going to say mine are probably out of order, but no, they're in order. And yeah, mine looks pretty bad. It's been well used and loved, but it works perfectly. We're going to start with stencil 1 and just kind of center it over the panel. I think what I discovered for positioning, let me grab one that I made earlier, is that the leaf, like it sits better because this stencil makes a panel that's larger than an A2. And the way the leaves are arranged, I prefer it when this leaf here is a little bit lower. I just found that that's what I like a little bit more. So I only know that from experience. So I'm going to position this leaf here a little bit past. Normally I would center it so the sides and all the sides had the same like white space, but you can see how this one's a little heavier. That's just what I've learned from doing it. 9 p.m. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad you are enjoying it. Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all, Rosie. We definitely have similar tastes. I think that salad that we had on the trip kind of Rosie's on our creative team if you don't know that already. And Rosie came and helped out for Create. And we ended up eating a lot of the same foods. It was just really funny. Okay, we're going to start with green apple. And I'm going to try to put it here on my script mat so it doesn't move around. And we're just going to simply ink blend, nice and easy, nothing too complicated. We're going to use multiple colors because I can't resist adding gradations. It's like my favorite thing to do with stencils. So we're going to do that too. It's the simplest one. It's really easy to create a gradation with a stencil. And it adds so much depth and interest to your panels. Oh, God. I'm so glad you like the Bird of Paradise stamps. That's awesome. And the decal. Yes, I know those, what do you call them? The washi tapes from the kit, which I have to pull out again because they're just so beautiful. I'm going to take my ring off. It's going to bug me. I got to get it resized. I love it so much, but I have to get it resized. It doesn't fit right. So my birthday's in October, and that makes my birthstone an opal. So I love opals, and that was a fun opal. Probably not like anything fancy. I'm sure it was like lab created or whatever, because it has a weird like patchwork look of colored opals, but I really like it. But when I bought it, it didn't quite fit, and I should have, but it was the only one he had that looked like that. So even though it didn't quite fit, I bought it anyways and just never resized it. All right, so that's probably, what do I think? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I am going pretty heavy-handed. There we go. All right. So the next color I'm going to use is going to be darker because I want to create that gradation. It's going to be pine, so a lot darker. Hello, Amber. Amber and Dippy, that's so cute. So we've got pine, and I'm going to grab another blending brush that I got here. There we go. Yes, I'm so excited for the birthday party. I don't know if you guys have seen our announcement that we did last week. Thursday we did it, where we're going to have a live, Hero Arts is going to have a live birthday party, in-person birthday party event in October 11th and 12th. It's going to be in the Bay Area, so it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to go. And I'm going. Rosie's going to go. I'm so excited. It's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to get a tour of the Hero Arts, like offices, factory, I guess, kind of, because they, Hero Arts, if you're not familiar, they make a lot of their stamps in-house. A lot of the rubber stamps, actually, all the rubber stamps are made in-house at Hero Arts. So we're going to see that, how that's done. I'm really excited because I have never seen it. I've never been to Hero Arts, first of all, but I've also never seen how rubber stamps are made. I'm really curious. So I'm excited about that. We're going to do make and takes. There's going to be classes, three 2-hour-long classes. It's a 2-day event, like I said, the 11th and 12th. If you are interested, if you can make it, which would be awesome, it is actually being hosted by a local paper crafting store called Creative Escapes. And that is where you would go to register. So if you are interested in that birthday party celebration coming, go to their website and find out the information. I have to fly, Lisa. I know, it's so, I wish I could, I wish I lived closer. I will have to fly in, but luckily I'm in Arizona. They're in, obviously, California, so not too bad. But a little bit too far to drive. California is a big state. All right, you can see I'm only ink blending kind of the tops. Oh, you're going to the birthday party, Cynthia? That's awesome. I can't wait to see you there. All right, we're almost done. I think that's about it. So I'm just being mindful not to lose my my lighter green. So I am ink blending kind of the tops, but I'm using a larger blending brush. And yes, I'm getting it. Some leaves I'm getting pretty well covered, like that one too. that one there, but it's okay. As long as I don't completely lose some of that lighter green. This is just going to add a lot more interest to these leaves. Because we got especially these bigger leaves that kind of just look flat because there's such a big area of color. Well, when you add that darker, create those gradations, just is going to make it look much more rounded, much more realistic. And it was easy to do. Okay, so we're done now with stencil. Yes, I'm totally planning on celebrating my birthday there, Cynthia. I know. That's 100% going to happen. I mean, it just happens to be my birthday, and I'm not going to not celebrate my birthday. All right, now we're going to move on to, we're not going to do stencil 2. So actually we are doing stencil 2. I think I might have wrote the instructions wrong. Let me verify. We're not doing what stencil? Oh, we're not doing stencil 3. That's it. So we're going to do stencil 2. Stencil 3 we're going to do last because this is the one we're going to use the wax with. All right, so I'm going to line up stencil 2. Now, I didn't obviously use the register marks because I just started with an A2 panel of Arctic cardstock. To use the register marks, you have to use a larger panel, but it's very simple to kind of line it up. I think the best place is like this curve right here goes along with that leaf. You'll kind of see some points that jump out on you. And remember how the proportions were. This had a bigger space down here. Keep that in mind. Let's see. So I'm moving around. I think I got it. That looks good to me. I don't see any of the green, just a little bit of the green, other leaves poking through some of the openings. But I think all in all, that looks pretty good. You can always, if you like using the register marks or registration marks, which I totally get, you just start with a bigger panel. I just try not to waste my colored cardstock because I love it so much. And I can usually eyeball it okay. All right, so this one we're going to use a couple colors as well. We're going to start with agrarian. Or oh gosh, it's not agrarian, is it? I'm going to not try to say it because I think I'm saying it wrong. This one, we're going to use this one now. Aegean? Is that right? All right, and then I'm going to ink blend real quickly over all the openings. You guys having a wonderful, it's a holiday weekend in the States. So we have a 3-day weekend, but it was also my daughter's birthday yesterday. Well, we had her party yesterday. She turned 10. My youngest turned 10. And she had a Baymax party. I don't know if you're familiar with Big Hero 6. She loves Baymax. He's the big, like, marshmallowy guy. And it was a fun little party. Her friends came, and it was cute to see her with her friends. And it was a nice day. It was a nice party. Oh, Amber, do you need more where you are? I know we do have a lot in the United States, don't we? Is that a gel press? No, Francisca. This is by Waffle Flower. It's a grip mat. It's basically the same thing that your clear stamps are made of. It's photopolymer, and Waffle Flower has a bunch of different sizes. It's really great for. People use it to stamp on top of. I prefer it for stencils. It's the best use of it. A lot of people use it for stencils too. But that's oops, I'm moving this and I shouldn't move it. We got another layer to do. But yeah, I love it. It's holding my stencils down. You can see it's like kind of suction. You know how sticky your clear stamps are? That's how it's working. And it's wonderful for stencils. Oh, Rosie, of course you know Big Hero 6. Yeah, it's a Disney movie if you're not familiar with that. Yeah, she loves it. Okay, so the next color is Bermuda. That one I can say. And again, like we did with the last stencil, where we did a little gradation, we're going to do the same thing. Just add a little bit, especially to those bigger sections, those bigger leaves. Let's create some little gradations here and there. There. I think we're just about done. Okay, I'm happy with that. What size is this one? This one is the, I think I have the, let me see if I have the, if these sheets say. I would get, by looking, I think it's 5.5 by 8.5. I'm pretty sure that's it. These don't, these mats or these acetate sheets don't really say. Oops, I really tried not to bump the camera, but I did. All right. I'm grabbing my ruler here just to see. Thank you, Lisa. Thanks for wishing her happy birthday. Yeah, she had a good birthday. Let's see. Yeah, 8.5, just double checking. 8.5 by 5.5. Yep. Just wanted to make sure I was right. How do I sign up? Oh, sorry, Michelle. Let me see. Let me pull it and I'll put it in the chat real quick. It won't be hard for me to find. It's also, if you did catch our live where we announced it, it's there in that YouTube description as well. But let me pull it up and I'll add it to the chat. Just give me 1 second. And all right, I've got the link. So I'll add it to the chat right now. Oops, there it is. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that helps. I really like it. I really like using it for my stencils. It's really great. And it holds your paper down as well. All right, now we move on. We're not going to do stencil 3. We're going to save stencil 3. Yours probably doesn't look. This is 2. What did we just do? How did it get mixed up? I can't read numbers. Okay, this was 3. That's what I thought. We weren't doing 2. We'll save 2. I apologize for that. I don't know why I thought it said 3. So we didn't do 2. We just did 3. Now we're doing 4. Line that up. That looks good. This one is simpler. We're gonna just use Deep Ocean. So yes, a blue. We're using a blue. I love to do blue, this color especially because it's so dark and rich. You can see the first 2 colors that we did use are kind of on the pool or teal side, so this will go nicely. But also it will layer beautifully. You notice some of these sections are green. It's going to go over the green and just kind of create a darker teal color. It won't read as blue actually. And we're just going to ink blend the whole thing with this color. It's so nice and dark. Thank you for joining, Jeannie. Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. Again, this is the August layering stencil of the month. I love the layering stencil. All the layering stencils I feel like from each monthly release has been amazing. We had, what did we have? What was last month? It was, my brain has gone completely blank. Was that the ocean themed one? I can't remember. It's complete. I know what September's is going to be. I know what September's is going to be. It's going to be amazing. Oh my gosh, it's epic. The September layering stencil of the month is absolutely epic. I love it so much. I love the September release, which I will share. I forgot to mention at the beginning of this live, but I will share we'll get kind of a sneak peek. Well, you'll see the whole kit really, but we'll see the, need my tweezers. The September card kit of the month at the end of this live. I'll go over it all. So that's always fun and exciting. Any chance you'll have you on Hanging with Hero? Me? I don't know if I will be on Hanging with Hero. Okay, so now we are ready for Stencil 2, finally. Look at how beautiful it's looking, though, already. I love it. It looks so pretty already. We're going to line this up. I'm not sure if I'll do Hanging with Hero. Erin's kind of asked, I just don't feel like I can carry, like someone else has to go with me. I don't have enough to say I think to warrant a whole Hanging with Hero with just me. But so maybe someday. I won't say no ever, but I definitely feel like I have to be with somebody else. There's maybe another creative team member. I don't know. But yes, but that's kind of you to think to be interested. All right, before we get to the wax, we're actually going to ink blend because I don't want to put the wax everywhere. I'm see if you can see this. I like it being a little broken. Where are some good examples? Like it's a little broken here. It's a little, it didn't go, I didn't apply it all. It should have been completely, all these little specks here should have been the wax, same here. I like it a little inconsistent. So I'm intentionally going to not do like a perfect application when we get to the wax part. But because I'm doing that that's my intention. I do want to I still want all this detail of this stencil to show up. So that's why I'm going to ink blend first. So I get that, I'm capturing all those details. I did it with the ink blend. And then we'll add a little texture and shine with the wax. But we don't have to worry about getting a really good coverage so all these details show up because we already did the ink blending. I hope that kind of makes sense. So we're going to grab our Deep Ocean again. Yeah, I think duos, Lisa. I agree. I think that's what would be a good fit. So maybe. All right, we're just going to simply ink blend with this Deep Ocean. Man, I think my table, so I'm a dining room crafter. And I bought my table way before I started making videos I've been making cards a long time, but before I started filming, the process. And my poor table is very shaky. And I can't have anything, like none of my cameras, none of my computer, anything that is like filming, like it's still obviously shaky. You can see it wiggle, but it's not as bad as if the camera was wiggling too. But I think we might have to, I hate to, it's a vintage table and I love it so much. I would hate to have to like replace it with a different table. I wonder if there's a way we can like take it somewhere and have them tighten things up, but I don't know. We got it like, some guy was basically trying to throw it away. It's a Drexel, so it's a nice vintage mid-century modern table, but it's been a little abused, but not by me. It wasn't quite taken care of before we got it, but it's still beautiful. It's just a little rickety and definitely shaky. Hi, Libby. How are you? All right. Okay. I think that's good. Now, before we do the wax, so remember how I'm trying to avoid that seeping underneath of that you sometimes get with the Hero wax. I'm trying, and because of the seeping, sometimes you'll get the pulling up of the cardstock. So what I'm going to do is actually dry this. One of my theories is that it's wet. The panel is kind of wet from all of the ink. We've been ink blending over it. So I think that kind of makes the fibers gets easier to grab because they're soft. They're not all tight. They're now opened up a little bit because they've absorbed some of the water. This is my theory. I could totally be wrong, but I'm going to heat set this first. Oh, you're cleaning your craft room. My goodness, that's something I need to do and probably will not be getting to anytime soon. Okay, so I'm going to turn my heat tool on. It's going to be a little noisy. Okay, so that's pretty hot to the touch, so I think that's fairly dry. All right, I'm going to stick it down. There we go. Line up my stencil again. Shouldn't be too hard to do. Just line it up to all that ink blending that we did. Making sure there's no like, see white spots or light green spots or something like that. That makes me know my stencil's not in the right spot. But it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It really doesn't. Because we're not trying, we're just adding a little bit of texture now with the wax. Okay. And I'm using the olive wax that was included in the August card kit of the month. You can use any texture paste, texture medium you might have, other hero waxes. I do like this really dark green color. I think it works really nicely with the leaves. Grab my, my palette knife. Oh, I agree, Amber. I love vintage furniture. I love everything vintage. Like all my clothes I buy are vintage. My house is vintage, but US vintage, which is, is the 40s. So it's not that bad, but yes, I definitely agree. I wouldn't want to just get rid of it. I'd have to find somebody to fix it, though, who knows what they're doing. Look at how creamy this wax is. It's so good. Oh, looks so pretty. Okay. Here's my other tip. Besides drying it, my other tip is try to work as fast as possible. We could also use stencil spray. That's an option too. That kind of helps hold we can do that. We can give that a try. Sometimes stencil spray does even pull your paper a little bit too. I'm trying to grab it here. See, this is my stencil spray, Pixie spray. It's a repositional adhesive. I'll give it a quick spray. If you don't have this, you don't need it. But we're doing my best to try to not get it to pull up the cardstock like it did. And I never use, just a point of reference, this is the very first time I've ever sprayed this stencil with Pixie spray. So Pixie spray wasn't the culprit. This is the very first time I ever sprayed it with that. So we'll see if that helps. All right. Now, I know this to be true for sure. The faster I work with this wax, the better. So the quicker I can kind of get my wax down on here and not play around and then take that stencil off, the better luck I'm going to have of not getting any of that paper to kind of get pulled off by the stencil. So I'm going to grab a little bit of wax here, place it down. And like I said, I'm going to go kind of fast. And I am intentionally not trying to get the leaf completely covered. Some of them I might get a little more covered than I'd like, but that's okay. It's just how it is. Okay, we're almost done, I think. I feel like I'm taking too long. Ah! All right, I better call it done. Okay, calling it done. Let's take that stencil off before things dry. Take it off. Guys, it worked perfectly. There is absolutely no place that picked up the paper this time. No spot. Oh, I'm so happy that was successful. Yay. So those are my tips. And you guys, I mean, like, making this card for the make and take, kind of figuring out what I was going to do. I think I did this panel like 3 times. So I've definitely tested. I threw my stencil just for reference. If you don't have a bowl or cup of water, which you probably won't because I didn't tell you to do that beforehand, but I have it down here under my table. I tossed my stencil in there. I'm going to toss my dirty palette knife in there so I can clean it later. I'll do a quick wipe down of my grip mat, but if the wax dries on the grip mat, you can just kind of bend your grip mat and get it to pop off. So not as crucial as cleaning your stencil and your palette knife is. But I'll just give it a little wipe. But it turned out, I'm so pleased. I mean, we have a little seepage here, but that doesn't bother me. I'm okay with that. I just don't like it when it rips the paper. That's what, oh, but look, can you see the beautiful shine and kind of soft roundness that wax does? It's just so pretty. And I love how we didn't do it completely over. Like, look at how beautiful that leaf right there looks, where it's just partially done with the wax. I think it looks so cool. Oh, I'm very happy with it. All right, I will put this aside to dry far away from me. And that's the whole reason why we did that card first, or that panel first, really. We will now have to go jump over to card 1, the kind of the true focus of today's live, which features the August card kit of the month. But we needed to let that dry. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll dry within our make along. Yours maybe not so much. I'm in Arizona, so things dry for me a lot faster than probably other places. All right, making room here. Let me grab card number 2. Well, technically card number 1, if you're following along the instructions. So this is the card that features the August card kit of the month. And this one, we are going to use the dies and the sentiment from, well, the clear stamp set that has a sentiment from that set. So there's a ton of stuff in that kit, a ton. Every card kit of the month is so jam-packed. Here's like just some of the stuff. I'm going to use this stamp set. I'm using the sentiment from that set. Love that there's a birthday sentiment. Here's all of like my things that I was attempting and playing with. Really fun. The wax, of course, was in that kit as well. This guy, the dies, this was also included in the kit, and that's going to be the main focal point of the card we're creating now. So we're going to need those. Oh no, I think, Vivian, I think what it is that paper is, it's just that colored cardstock is a little bit more porous. And so you're more likely to get that to happen. And the only way, which is unfortunate because I love doing these techniques on top of colored cardstock, but like things like watercolor paper would hold up better, you know, like that would be probably for sure not happen with watercolor paper. But I think these colored cardstock is where these things like that pooling of the paper happens more because of the water we're introducing with the paste. So you've got to try to go as fast as possible, I think, which is unfortunate, which is like, even I was kind of like, oh, this is intense. Or try not to use colored cardstock. Maybe start with watercolor paper. Maybe try to tint the watercolor paper if you want to, you know, like watercolor, let it dry first and then go to the stencil. But I'm sorry that lifted on you. That's such a bummer. I know it happened to me when my first several attempts. There's a stencil in the kit as well. We won't be using the stencil today, but it really would work to add a little interest into the background. I definitely think you could do a couple like ghostly, like faint vines in the background. Now I wish I'd done that. That would have been great to do. The beautiful washi tape, which we mentioned earlier. And I need the dies because I'm going to use that sentiment die. Okay, so I'm going to put the other things I'm not using from the kit back in my little envelope here. Let's see. I love trying to use like all the Pure Arts has so many like mediums, and I'm really just dipping my toe into mixed media. But I love it. Like the cards that I see people do have that have the mixed media style. I love them so much. And they get me so excited about the mediums. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at all these new looks you can get just by, you know, introducing this one medium like Hero Wax or Hero Paste. They always get me really excited because I like techniques. And I like also texture. And that's another thing that you can add texture with the texture mediums like Texture Paste or Hero Paste or Hero Wax. So that is very exciting. Okay, so we're going to die cut all of these. The ones that we're going to die cut 2 of are the vine, this hibiscus flower, and the smaller leaf. But everything else is, oh, and this guy, he's going to be cut 3 times, but only 1 for the big leaf. I'm going to grab my plates here and grab some white cardstock. Here we go. And let's stick these down. I don't know if I have enough white cardstock for all of them. We'll see. Possibly not. I don't think it's gonna, I'll get both 2, but we'll do the best we can. All right. I'm gonna die cut these out. I'm just gonna grab my die cutting machine here. Place it in front. This was my squeaky one, and I think I finally got it fixed. And it wasn't squeaky where you think it'd be squeaky, which is the actually rolling. I don't know, they're not called plates, but the rolling metal parts in here. It was this handle that was squeaky. Let's see. How do we do? I accidentally didn't cut that leaf all the way, but that's okay. No one's gonna know. I might have to run these through again. I notice when I try to die cut a lot of dies at once, a couple of them don't cut well. So did we cut the vine out? Did we get him? I think we did. Just stuck in like one spot. Okay, I'll cut him out again, and him and the big leaf. So both leaves, I guess. And now I'm going to use a piece of tape to hold it in place. I kind of lock it in. And I'm going to turn it the other way. We're going to now cut it like horizontal. But I definitely want these, I don't want these dies to shift around on me, so I'm going to use some tape this time. Okay. There we go. Yeah, these leaves dies are so pretty. I love them. I love all. There's some things that will never have enough of, which is leaves and butterflies. I need every variation that's out there. Oh, I think we skipped a little, but not that bad. Oh, it cut out perfectly. Just need that one other run through. Perfect. Okay, we'll cut that again. There we go. This vine. One of the vines I'm actually cutting down, so I think I could probably get another vine out of what's left. All my flowers. I think I can actually get everything from this one panel. We'll see. Do you guys, I always try to challenge myself with like, how much can I get out of my piece of paper? Or little ones I'll do is eyeballing the foam tape precisely. If I get it right, I'm very proud of myself. It's like a little win. Oh, right. He skipped a little, but well, you know what? This would be the one we cut. It's not perfect, but this will be the one we cut. Oh, I'm sorry. I've realized now that a lot of what I was doing was not being seen. Sorry. Cats. Oh, Amber, I love cats too. Cats, leaves, and butterflies. I endorse that also. I love cats. But I'm a cat owner, so no surprise there. I think, how long do I need? Okay, we need another big leaf. Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I failed. But we should be able to get this leaf, the flower, and one more flower. We'll have to get another piece of paper for the vine. Let's see if I put that. The cord's in the way. I've got like a new setup. I keep trying new sets up. I've got new cameras and things here at my house for our lives, and still working on like the perfect setup. And we're getting there. It's a little bit getting a little bit better every time. Oh, good. This one cut perfectly. Yay. First try. This one could use, I'm learning some little tweaks that I need to make in the future, but overall it's doing pretty good. All right. Last flower. Now we'll cut the vine. I need to get some more cardstock for that, but we are almost done with die cutting. At least all of our leaves and everything. There we go. Pop him out. All right. Toss that. Let's see if I got some cardstock in here. Some scrap cardstock that I can use. Oh. That'll work. I think that's a whole panel, but that's fine. And we'll grab the, oh wait, I got a perfect scrap. Will that fit? It will. We're gonna use you. Close enough. Did I go all the way down? My whole table is shaking. It's very bad. Oh, my poor table. All right, let's get that out of the way. All right, woohoo, we're done die cutting. We've got our vines, our leaves, our flowers. Pop this guy out. Ooh. The vine got caught on my tweezers. Oh my gosh, it's so delicate and cute. Well, look at how pretty it is. And I love that little curl at the end. All right, I'm going to grab my grip mat because this is going to work great again for ink blending these. It's going to hold the paper down a little bit. So that's another great use of that grip mat. Pop out some of those negatives real quick. 2 vines. This one's a little not perfect, but that's all right. We'll end up cutting that part off. Flowers. All right, that's everything. Grab my grip mat. Stick that down. Let's start with the big one. Okay, we're going to use a lot of the same inks we used on that bonus card. And we're going to start with Green Apple and Pine. No, I have not been watching the Paralympics. I really should. All right, we're going to start with the green apple. We just don't watch a lot of TV. And especially not this weekend or last week. It's just been a bit busy. But I know they're amazing athletes and very inspiring to watch. All right, finished with that green apple. We're going to move on to pine. And just going to create a gradation, just like we did when we were ink blending with the stencils. It adds some more interest. It starts to instantly make this leaf more rounded, have more shape and depth. And you know, I think I'm going to step this up a little bit. I'm not getting as dark as I'd like to see it. So I'm actually going to grab that ocean. Because pine is kind of the darkest green that Hero Arts makes, except for maybe Forever Green. But Forever Green's more olivey. And I don't really want this leaf to go olivey. So I'm going to grab Deep Ocean and just ink blend over. And it just makes that teal color a little bit more. And look at how much darker it's making it. So good. Now let's do a tiny bit more of the green and we're done. My cup of water is here and I think I'm just afraid it's gonna tip over with the aggressive ink blending. All right, that's done. We're gonna keep out the Deep Ocean because we will be using that again, but look at how pretty it looks. Nice gradation. Oh, I love it. All right, we're gonna put you aside. Let's darken up that a little bit there. Okay, put you aside. There we go. Now we're gonna move on to, let's do these guys. And the vines, because they're actually all blended the same colors. So put those down. We're going to use Deep Ocean. We're going to use Bermuda and this guy here. So same colors we used before. Let's start with this light. Grab my blending brush. This color is so pretty, stunning. And we're going to do those vines. You know, I think I'm picking up a little bit of that green apple. Not that it's bad, but it's changing the look a little. I'm going to do a quick clean. This is, I do think you're not supposed to use alcohol, but I haven't had a problem with it. But that's my warning. I'm just using some rubbing alcohol just to pick up some of that residual green apple that's on there, because I'm picking it up off of the grip mat and then putting it on my die cuts. And I don't really want these to be that color green. Just give that a quick clean. Let me show you, Cynthia. It's this guy right here. Algerian? I'm sorry if I say that wrong. I'm not as familiar. All right. That looks better. All right. We're done with that color. Now we're going to move on to Bermuda. And just, again, creating that gradation. This color is so pretty. Thank you, Amber. I'm definitely not the best ink blender, but because I'm really heavy-handed, but this is very forgiving. Ink blending over die cuts, really forgiving. Especially these die cuts, because they have all that texture, you know, all the lines. That's going to hide any of your like harsh lines that you might have from ink blending, because I'm not tapping off. I'm just going right to my paper. But if I was trying for a really seamless blend for like a background, I would have to tap off. But if we're here, I don't have to, because it's not going to show. You're not going to see any of those little imperfections in the blend like you would if you had a flat panel of cardstock. Back to Deep Ocean, just amping up the contrast a little bit more. This color is so dark. Do you see that little bit of darkness? Oh, just so pretty. Oh my gosh, Amber, that's so expensive. Wow. That's awesome. I hope it comes to you sooner than you expect. There you go. I think that's looking pretty good. All right, we've got our beautiful vines. Look at how pretty they are. Oh my gosh, I love them. I think I'm going to go just a little bit further down with the blue. There. So they match a little bit better. And then we've got our leaves. They look so, so pretty with that Deep Ocean added onto them. I really like that. And now I'm going to do a quick clean because I definitely have ink everywhere. I can see it. So I'm using my alcohol. My sprayer is a little bit busted, so it's getting everywhere. There we go. And now we're going to move on to the hibiscus flowers. These are the last ones that we ink blend. These guys, we were going to color with Copics. Yes, teals are so pretty. I agree, Heidi. They are beautiful. All right, we're going to have only 2 colors for these. And then the additional details on these flowers, I use Copic markers for. I just decided I wanted to kind of bring out the stamen in the center. So for that, we will use Copics, just like we use Copics on these. But we're almost done. All right, we're going to use Ultra Pink. Super pretty color. And just ink blend the whole flower. If you can, try to keep the center a little bit lighter. So if you can do a gradation with the pink, that's ideal, but it's a little tricky because the flower is so small. Do my best. Kind of did it. Kind of. Do the same thing here. I do want to put a little bit of pink there. I don't want it to be white. So I do kind of like a base real quick all over. And then I just go really heavy-handed on the sides. My air conditioning just kicked on. It's 102 right now in Arizona. Be a while before our high is lower than 100, unfortunately. Now we're going to go on to, oh, not cranberry, crimson. I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. Sorry. Not that it matters that much. Cranberry would have been fine too. But my instructions said crimson. Okay, I'm going to grab one of, this is the smallest blending brush that Hero Arts makes. Grab this guy. And just kind of get the sides. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. That red and pink. Best combo ever. I did go a little sloppy though. Let's see if I can kind of blend it out with a little more pink. Okay, there we go. Try to be a little less. I should be tapping it off. There we go. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Turn this around. It's easier for me to come from the right and in. So that's why I'm turning these around. Just easier for me to get the angle better. Being right-handed. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Only 98 in Tucson. Oh, Heidi. That sounds nice. Ah. Yes, and fall, please come. It takes us so long, though, to cool down, right? It takes a long time. My birthday being in October, I'm very aware of what the temperature is in October, and it's always still so hot. We won't get it. But but you know, it is cooling down, though. It's just during the day, and if you're outside in the sun, it's still very hot in October. We'll stick that there. Okay. I guess I could have used my mat longer to hold these in place while I color, but I'm just gonna do it here on my work surface. That's fine. Vivian, you're not a pink girl, but you love the ultra pink. Me too. Me too. What I like about it is it's all the other Hero Arts pinks are like that cotton candy pink, the pastel-y. That ultra pink is like bubblegum pink, and I love it. All right, Copics. Just going to use 3 Copics, a yellow, a really rich yellow, like school bus yellow, Y15, and then 2 oranges, a light and a dark, YR04 and YR07. Yeah, Amber, I know. I'm born and raised here. I totally get it that it's too hot for most people. I mean, often it's too hot for me, but I am very used to it. This is where my family is too, so. Look at how pretty that looks, just that little, and I'm not being very careful, just adding a little bit of that yellow to the center. It looks so good. I can't get over it. Okay, and for these flowers, I'm going to color a little bit of yellow like along each of the petals and then the center. So I'm going to try to do it so my hand doesn't block it, but it is so small. Cute. I love that look. It reminds me of those flowers. I can't remember what they're called, but you get them in Hawaii. They're the ones that leis are made out of. That's what I was going for. That was what I was channeling. Oh my gosh, look at how that looks. I'll hold it up so you can see. Real simple, not even going to blend it out or anything. I like the lines. All right, now we're going to move on to our oranges. Start with the lighter orange, and we're going to, the best I can, kind of color the stamen, this flower, just like that. I'll hold it up so you can see. Let's see, color in those best I can. Do another one. Looks pretty good. We'll add a little one there. Taking some artistic liberties. I'm going to add a little shadow to the center. So like a think of a crescent moon. That's what I'm adding. A little crescent moon like that. And that's it. And I'll blend that out with the yellow, but add that first. There we go. But even though it's 102, you know, I was this weekend looking for Halloween decorations and fall things. We still pretend here, but it's fall. All right, now moving on to that dark orange. I'm going to color, all I'm going to use is to color the little tops. Let's see if I can hold it in my hand. I feel like this is a little bit easier to see when I do it this way. Just color those. But it's a little harder for me to do. There. Just like the heads of the stamen. That's it. That's simple. We'll do it on this one, and then we are done. So just a little bit of Copic coloring, a little bit of coloring, and it wouldn't. This doesn't have to be done with Copics. This could have been done with colored pencils, Tombow dual brush pens, because we didn't really blend much. Copics are great for when you're doing blends, and we hardly did any blending. We just added a little bit of color, and it's just taking these die cuts to come to the next level, highlighting those details. Yes, my air conditioning is working, though I have it set. This will probably make you guys squirm. Maybe. We only have it set to 82. So even though it is working, it's still kind of, I should, but I forget. I should turn it up higher during the lives because I have like 5 lights on and it gets hot behind the lights. So that's when usually 82 is okay, but when I'm doing videos or lives, it's a little uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna put these aside. Now we're gonna grab another panel of white cardstock, and I'm going to grab the Pointed Arches Infinity dies. This was not included in the August card kit. This actually came out in our September, our spring catalog release. By the way, we just had a holiday catalog release. If you haven't checked it out, you really should. There's amazing products in there for the upcoming holiday seasons, and they have been really popular, and it's a really great release. So definitely check that out, especially if you're going to make some holiday cards soon. As a really standout release. But this was from the spring release, and this is just one of those. Infinity dies are always just great to have because they're nesting die sets, and they're great for like windows and just basic tools that you will go to or things that you will use in your card designs over and over again, like a rectangle, a circle. And these arches are just a fun option for something instead of a rectangle or a circle. But you could do this card with a rectangle if you don't have these arches. I can't remember which one I did, so we're going to test them out. Grab the card here. Is that right? Yep, I think this one's it. So this one's the 4th largest. So if you do happen to have the nesting or the pointed infinity arches, it's the 4th largest. Put that aside. Just going to center this. Grab a couple of pieces of tape. Got one here with the hair. All my tape will have either my own hair or my cat's hair. Pull that piece out. Center it as best I can. Then use a couple pieces to hold it in place. That looks pretty good. I'll run that through. I can't find my plate. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to run this through my die cutting machine. Oh, yes, it is available. Oh, did you like that one, Vivian? Yep, every time we do a holiday catalog, I believe. That's when we do it. We did it for the spring catalog too. We ask you guys what your favorite card kit of the month was, and then we bring that in back in our catalog. And the Christmas catalog or the holiday catalog had, it got so dirty. It's dirty. Can you see that? We'll clean it up. I believe it's just like paper. It's not perfectly centered, but I think that's fine. It's all cut through. But in the holiday catalog release, it was October 2022. And it was a really great Heroscape set. It was called North Pole Scenics, or it is called North Pole Scenics, and it's a really fun kind of like Santa's Village set. And I really enjoyed creating cards with it. Yes, did you hear my cat, Amber? Yep, she was getting herself situated, and she likes to meow just before she gets herself real comfortable. Just lets everybody know that she's there. But other than that, she's not really vocal. She's a lover. She loves to be pet. Always wanting pets. Cares much more about pets than she does food. All right. So that was a little dirty. I'm going to show you how to clean this up. Please, fingers crossed this works. Usually, it's some gunk left on my plates that caused it. Most of the time, it's something sticky, like adhesive. Usually not ink, but I can usually get most of it off with just an eraser. So I just have a regular white eraser here. And I'm just going, let me hold it up so you can see how bad it is. She's called Elodie. She's a exotic short hair. She's a cute, sweet kitty. Yeah, she's the sweetest cat I've ever owned. I'm a cat person, so I've had several cats, and she's just the loveliest one I've ever had. But now, hold up. Can you see how clean that got? So if that happens to you, try an eraser. See if that works. I also have a adhesive eraser, so this will remove sticky stuff that's on your cardstock too. So I would give that a try next if that didn't quite get all the way off. But I think we got it all cleaned up, even though it looked so dirty before. Like, I was like, oh no, I'm gonna have to cut another one. You have two cats. I want you to sit on your tape, Lisa. That's what Elodie does too. And chews on your pens, pencil, and markers. That's funny. She doesn't do that, but she does chew on tape. She loves acetate. She loves clear plastic, thin plastic, and she loves to chew on it, like wrapping presents or packages to ship out where I need that tape. My goodness, she's like she hears the sound, the crinkling sound, and comes running from I don't know where to try to chomp on it. So weird. I never knew cats like that. She was my first cat that was really into that. Okay, so we have that. We got my card base here. I have an A2 top folding white card base. And I'm going to just kind of place it down. So I see, just helps me to kind of visualize where I need to blend. I'm going to start here in that upper left corner and blend down. We're going to blend with a new ink. Well, new in the sense we haven't used it today at all. We're going to blend with Arctic. This is one of my favorite inks. I'm going to load up my brush. Yes, anything crinkly. Yes, Lisa, exactly. They're so weird, right? And I'm going to blend it down. Now, this is a super, super light ink, which makes it really forgiving for ink blending. Like you're not going to get those harsh lines, but it does take a while to build up in intensity. So it's going to take me a while to get this nice and dark. And he says she once had a cat that would chew through plastic shopping bags to get at the cabbage. What? That's crazy. I didn't think cats would eat cabbage. I've seen cats like chew through plastic to get to bread. But I never thought a cat would be interested in cabbage. That's fascinating. Elodie is really funny though. She doesn't like anything but her one brand of dried cat food. And it isn't even like a fancy brand. It's like Costco's brand that has the funniest name ever. It's called Maintenance Cat. It's terrible. But that's all she wants. She only likes Maintenance Cat. We've tried giving her wet food. She doesn't like it. And she hates other dried food. So Maintenance Cat it is. Okay, we're getting there. Bananas? What, Pamela? That's so weird. Oh, Lisa says her cat loves bread too. That's so funny. Amber says Dippy chewed through a box, and another bag to get to catnip. Catnip, yes. Everyone loves Costco, right? Yes, even the cats. Is that name hilarious? Maintenance Cat. So funny. It's like a running joke in our family that Costco has all the things to maintain, what you want or whatever, just because we think that Maintenance Cat is so funny, that name. All right, look at that beautiful blend. I love it. See, it kind of breaks to white there. 68 in Wisconsin. Oh my gosh, that sounds nice. Sounds very Costco, right? Very Costco. Okay, so we are home stretch. The only thing is, before I want to arrange all of these, I do want to do the sentiment. So we're going to go and do the sentiment because I want to include that in the design and the arrangement. So I need to make that real quick. So we're going to do very simple black cardstock, white heat embossed sentiment, a classic, my always go-to. Throw in some pitch black cardstock. Grab that sentiment. I remember where I put the stamp set. We're reached the point where things are chaotic on my table. Where did I put it? I might have put it back, put it away. Is that what I did? I remember getting it out and like, we're going to use this. Oh, I hate when I do this. Such a waste of time. Oh, where could it be? And usually it's like right under my nose. There's the dies. Okay, that's good. Where's the stamp on it? Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay. We're going to do Have a Wild Birthday. And just anywhere is fine. Pop it down. Pick it up. I'm going to use some anti-static powder. I think my one rolled under here. Yes, it did. I like this one by Rabbit Hole Designs. Oops. Looks like I did not put it away properly. There we go. And I've talked about this many times. I'm going to bring it up again. I really like using pigment ink for heat embossing. Since we're doing white heat embossing, I'm going to use white pigment ink. And the Unicorn Hero Arts white pigment ink is the best out there. So we're going to ink this up with that. I feel like I get cleaner, crisper results. And anytime I didn't quite, less chance of splotchiness too. Because even if the embossing powder didn't stick to a spot, the ink is there and the ink is white. I think I've got enough. That's just stamped it twice. I think that's good. Already looks so white, right? That pigment ink is the best. And let me grab my embossing powder. This is clear. I don't want clear. I want white. Grab that. It's kind of a weird way to do it, but I got it on there. I'm going to grab our brush here and just kind of get some of that excess off. We need to dip it one more time, I think. That's much better. I do have a little hair. Can you see that by the R and the T? I'm going to try to clean it up with my needle. Sometimes I'll just take a marker too and clean it up, but the best is actually getting that embossing powder off of there. So I'm just kind of scraping it off. That's pretty good. One more little spot. And now I'm going to heat set. Yeah, give it a try. All right, pretty good. I made a mess of things, of course. I should have grabbed like a little paper to apply the powder over, but that's not what I did. That's all right. We'll just kind of clean it off of here. Sometimes I can get it back in. All right, let's put that aside. So let's hold up so you can see pretty good results. I have a couple little stray places like here and here. And what I was saying I do also is take a marker. The only thing I don't like about using a marker to kind of hide it is that sometimes you can see the ink. I have these Copic multi-liners. They're very, very fine points. Just grab one of these. Is there a way to get heat embossing as crisp as possible other than anti-static powder? I'm afraid you have to have anti-static powder of some. Though I mean, I've seen people make their own, but I've never tried that. So they made some like homemade version of anti-static powder. But yeah, you really do need. That's like kind of an essential tool, unfortunately. But it really does help. So it's nice to have. All right, I think that's pretty good. I just cleaned up a little bit with my black marker, just went over a couple of spots. You can kind of see, can you kind of see the glare? That's the only reason why I don't love doing it, because you can kind of see a little glare of the ink. But it hides little stray powders beautifully. So if I was a little too lazy to take that needle, you could take a pin tool. My pin tool is broken. I haven't replaced it. But if you were too lazy to kind of clean that off with the tool or a brush, you could take a marker and do that too. And I do that often. All right, now I need the dies, which I have here. Grab that coordinating die. All right, I'm gonna grab a piece of tape to hold it in place. How are we doing on time? We're only in like an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, that's not bad. You'll definitely finish this in under 2 hours. It's pretty good. Just making sure it's lined up. That looks good. Can you use a sand eraser? You can use the sand eraser too to get off. It's just sometimes it's hard when it's close to the letters, but yeah, it definitely will come off. Corn flour, right? Oh yeah, that's what I think it is. It might be some mixture of cornstarch if they make their own. Again, I haven't tried it, so I can't speak to how well it works, but I've heard of people making their own. And it sounds like it would work. But I haven't tried it myself. That cut out pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Pretty well lined up. I mean, look at how close that die cuts. It's amazing. Ooh, 80 degrees. That sounds pretty good. But I know that. Is that hot though, Cynthia? Is that hot for you? You and Rosie. Is that hot for you guys? Is 80 hot? Because Aaron was saying 80 was hot. I was like, well, I mean, that's not what you're used to, definitely. I mean, I've been in California, and it was obviously cooler than it was in Arizona, and I still was hot, so I get it. Oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. I'm going to start using my talcum powder. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Yes. Cornstarch, baby powder. Yes. See, lots of suggestions to give a try. But you need something like that, right? Like something like those powders, because it does really help with your heat embossing. Okay, we're going to start ranging. I'm going to go ahead and trim these down. This guy for sure, because he's was messed up to begin with. Okay, grab my scissors. Trim it off about right there. Something like that. You know, I do want him, I'm going to need my tweezers. This is where we're getting into the nitty gritty here. I went darker with these leaves and I like it than my original. Let's put these two here so you can actually see them side by side. I have my head covering the way. I might need to ink blend a little bit more. I'm seeing that now. Easy fix. There. This one a little shorter. Trim that off. And I actually want to put it behind. This leaf, the second. Oh my gosh, I love it. Love how it's looking. Cute. Look how much darker I went, and I really like it. I like how much darker it is. Oh, Rosie says, if you're coming to the store, bring layers and a light jacket. Good advice. from a local. And I'm not actually going to stick the flowers down now, but I'm figuring out where I want everything to go. Oops. And I have my press and seal to the side, ready to go. Once I get everything arranged, this is the part where I spend way too much time. I'm really trying to not fuss with it, but they move around on you, which can be annoying while you're in the middle. Okay, I don't think I need to arrange these guys. I could throw them down. They're not as, I kind of don't care so much where they go. I think they look good wherever. I say that and then I instantly start adjusting them. Okay. I'm happy with that. We did it. Okay, I'm gonna grab my piece of press and seal. So handy. If you don't have press and seal, I know some people can't get it. You can use tape. You can use low tack tape, long pieces. You know, you just kind of place it over. You're gonna need like 3-4 pieces of tape. It just varies. So you have all your die cuts kind of woven together, held together by a weave of tape. And then you can flip it over and then you can add your foam adhesive to really secure them in that arrangement and then place them down and remove that tape that's holding them. Obviously, press and seal is easier than that because it's just one go and gets them all. But before I even bought press and seal, I was just using tape and it worked. But just make sure it's low tack so you don't rip your, I tried to pull that hair off and it's just insists on staying. Okay. All right, there we go. I think it's easier to kind of flip it over. There. But remember I said this was not quite blended enough, so I'm going to blend this real quick before we go any further. So just grabbing that Arctic again, I just felt like it wasn't enough color. Okay. And we could even do a little bit of that. This guy, we could do a tiny bit of this. Oh yeah, that's nice. It's amping up the gradation a little bit more. All right, I'm going to stop there. All right. Now let's grab my foam adhesive, which I think I have to go get up and get. Here we go. And I am going to add foam adhesive to, so on the card, I popped up the flowers and the sentiment more. So they actually have another layer. There are actually 2 layers of foam adhesive. So I'm actually going to avoid putting foam adhesive on the flowers and sentiment. First thing, I'm going to frame out the panel. See, that's when I'm like, yes, success. I cut that, eyeballed it perfectly. That's what I mean, like eyeballing the foam adhesive. I'm afraid this one's probably too long. No, it's too short, but pretty good. All right, we're gonna add some foam adhesive behind the leaves. So I connected the leaves. Let me do a better job. That leaf. Okay, let me try again. Nope, that's where it's gonna have to stay. I keep overlapping over here on this foam adhesive. There. But I'm connecting the leaves to the actual panel in some cases. Just makes everything really stable. There we go. And this leaf, though, is so thin. I'm going to have to move on to, I was using 1/4 inch. Now I'm going to use 1/8 of an inch foam adhesive. Talk about hot going into the pool. Yep, we definitely do that here too. But the pools get hot too. I mean, my fellow Arizonian can probably speak to that, that our pool water gets pretty hot in the summer, especially by late summer. You can't go swimming during the middle of the day. You have to go swimming late afternoon, early morning. Otherwise, it feels like you're just going into a bath. Not super refreshing. But if you go in, if you do go during the middle of the day, you just go in and you hop out, because then you have evaporative cooling happening, which that feels nice. Just don't want to stay in the pool. That's not so refreshing. It feels like bath water. Yes, Cindy says, my sister in Missouri and I have been there several days when the water has been too hot to get in the pool. Yep, exactly. Heidi, yep, you're my AZ person. You can get into the pool and then walk into the AC. There you go, Heidi. Exactly. You guys get it. I was talking to somebody who was from Washington, and he just couldn't understand how the water could be that, how that could happen. It's like, yeah, he was actually kind of horrified. It's like, yeah, it gets that bad. Oh, I need my tweezers. Okay. I think I'm just about done here with fussing with this foam tape. I probably overdid it. I don't need all of that, but there we go. We've got foam tape. We don't have it on the vines, but that's okay. We can glue those in. I'm going to remove the backing now. All right. There we go. Kind of use like a stab. I stab into the side of the foam tape, especially handy for these thin, tiny pieces. Stab in the side, bend back so it lifts the backing up a little bit, and then I can grab that backing with my tweezers and pull it all the way off. There we go. Now, one last piece. All right, just grab this over. And I gotta know how to stand up. I could do the liquid glue on the foam adhesive, so I have a little bit of wiggle room, but usually I can eyeball it. And I think I did. Okay. Okay. And the flowers and vines are coming up because I didn't put any foam adhesive on those. That stuck down. I think we can get the vines. Well, I didn't do that originally, but let's just pop the vines up a little bit too. It's just easier since they're all stuck down anyways. So now we're going to add more foam adhesive. Put Put it over that vine and flower. And I have to trim it down a little bit. There we go. It's a little long. So I've got a little bit of that vine held to the flower with foam adhesive. So I won't actually have to glue these in. They'll be extra popped up, but that's okay. This is too big. I need to make it smaller. And we need to get tweezers in here now. It's getting tiny. It's the only downside with doing foam adhesive with tiny things, but it's just a big payoff though. So it's worth it, I feel like. But you can always glue this. You could always just glue these, not pop these up as well, just glue them with liquid glue. That'd be fine. Just glue them to the leaves. That's what I'm looking for. Glue them to the leaves. Okay, all my flowers have foam adhesive. My vines all kind of have foam adhesive because they're connected to the flowers. I've got one little piece here. I think you'll see it, so I'm not going to use it. We'll use it behind the sentiment. Now I just need to add some to the sentiment. Oh, we can hold the vine better here too. There we go. This, hi Sherry, this is the stencil from the August release. So this is the August layering stencil, but that's for the second card, which we haven't quite finished yet. Right now I'm still working on the first card, which features the August card kit of the month. Okay, let's get these out of here. I think we're done with those. No. Well, I'll have to get up and get them. All right, now we need to remove the foam and the backing on the foam adhesive, and we will stick these down, and this card will be done. But so this card features the dies included in the August card kit. And that's just like one small part of everything that was in the August card kit. There's so much. And I've actually created a card that I shared during the blog hop for this release. And I used these leaves. So this is the second card I've created with these leaves. But I only used these leaves. I didn't use the flowers and vines. So I really wanted to come back and work with them again. All right, I'm calling that guy done. Only this flower, he didn't really fall on a leaf, so he's not doubled up. So I want to pop him up just with a little bit more foam adhesive. There we go. So I'm going to cut one more piece. I pried him off of the back panel. Cut a little foam adhesive square. And I'm just going to tuck it under. Can you see? Now he's doubled up and sitting at the same height as all the other flowers. Cute. And that is true for the behind that sentiment part. So you can do the same thing. Cut a little piece. This is sometimes easier than like memorizing where it's touching something that's popped up already and where it's not. I sometimes find this just easier to do is just kind of lift up and go, okay, that's where I need a little more foam adhesive. Nice. And there it is, the finished card. Oh, it was made. Yeah, this totally could have been shaker for sure. That would have been pretty. Actually, I feel like you had some like iridescent, nothing too busy. That would be really pretty behind there. I never thought of that. That didn't even occur to me, but that would be a nice touch. My nail polishes got on there, which is annoying. Okay, so now we're going to finish up the bonus card. So if you were here from the beginning, you know that we created a panel, which I just threw stuff on. Yee! I threw stuff on, but luckily I didn't mess it up. Ah! Right. Okay, so here's the panel that we made at the beginning of the live because we actually started with the bonus card, which kind of seems out of sync or out of order. But we did that because this panel has hero wax on it and I needed it to dry so we could move on to the next step with this card. And it did. The hero wax is dry, which is awesome. Look at how beautiful this turned out. This one's going to be better than my first one by a landslide. So pretty. That beautiful shine from that hero wax. So gorgeous. Okay, but this one turned out really good. I'm happy with this one because we went really dark with the leaves and the flowers. Looks so good. Oh my gosh. I love this one. Just a reference. Here's side by side. See how much darker this one is? Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, now this one, we're going to trim it down. We want to trim out about an inch. And you know what I'm noticing? Can I do that? I'm going to do it. I'm noticing I don't like where I align this. I think I went too far down. So I have a little gap up here and I just don't like it. Since we're trimming this anyways, we're going to cut out a section. I'm thinking now that I'm talking about it, I need to show you the original card, but I've lost where it went. Is this it? Nope, that's my panel. I need that. Well, I'm not sure where my original card went, but we're going to cut out about an inch at the bottom here. And since we're cutting out an inch anyways, I can cut the top and then cut like, I'm going to cut like 1/8 off of the top and then I'll cut a little less than an inch here. Gosh, I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to cut this top off because I don't like that gap there. There. See how much better that looks without that little gap centered? Now I'm going to cut out about an inch. And we're going to use the sentiment set or the clear stamp set with the sentiment to help us gauge. Of course, I lost that set again. Where'd it go? Oh, it's beside me. That's right. I put it beside me. Okay, so now we're using this other sentiment in the set. It's a jungle, which I think works really nicely with these leaves. Oh, this is so pretty. I love this panel. Okay. So he's about an inch. See? He's like an inch exactly. So if I cut about an inch, we're good. A little bit less than an inch. So we'll go about here. Keep that part. And then I'm going to look here. That's 1 inch. And I want to cut a little less just because I cut a tiny bit off the top. There we go. So that part we're not keeping. These two parts we are. Okay. This is going to go on here like so. And then our sentiment will go in that gap. But we're not going to do it on white, even though it does look really pretty on white. We're going to do it on kiwi. So you can either go ahead and glue this down or you can stamp it first like I am and then I'll glue it down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my Misty. Just behind me, of course. Pop it in here. grab those panels, those strips, so I know where to stamp. Line them up with the panel. Use a magnet to hold them in place. Now I have my sentiment. I'm just going to lean over, make sure it's straight. I think it looks pretty good. Pick it up with my Misty. And I'm going to stamp this in Forever Green. So that olivey dark green, which I think matches nicely with the olive hero wax that we use. So we're kind of bringing that color in a little bit more. But you could definitely do black too. I think black would look really nice as well. All right. We're on home stretch. Look at us. Less than 2 hours. So again, this is Forever Green. It's a really dark olivey color. Black, I think, would also look good. I really like this color stamped on the kiwi, though. I like that green on green. I think my Forever Green's a little dry, though. All right. All right, one more time. I need to re-ink this, I think. Okay, just kidding. This is going to be the last time. There we go. Yep, that looks good. Okay, that I'm happy with. Nice and bold. Grab those panels. Actually, let's go ahead and glue this to our card base. I'm going to grab my liquid glue. No, that's a lacquer pen. Let's try again. You liquid glue? No, you're also a lacquer pen. You're liquid glue. All right, we add just a little bit of that. Line it up. Then we're going to add some, I'm going to put a plate, weight it down just a little bit while we add foam adhesive to the back side. We're going to pop these guys up. And I did have to grab it again. Here we go. Grab my scissors. I wonder if you could use those jewel infinity dies to make a similar arch cut out. Jewel infinities. Oh, I know what you're talking about, Lee. Those ones are really nice. I don't know if you can make an arch, but you could definitely make an opening. And like, it doesn't have to be an arch. It's any opening, I think, that would look nicely with those leaves and that blend. For the last card we did, I think just a rectangle would work too. But yeah, I try it, Lee. I bet it would look really pretty. I love those. Those were in the class, weren't they, Lee? The jewel nesting dies. What were they called? Jewel something? Jewel infinity? I can't remember. Oh, my plate is very... Vivian, so much of my things are so well loved. I don't have the pristine things. My things are very well used. Yes, very observantly. Or very observant, Vivian. Yes. But he still works, so I'm not going to throw him away yet, right? If it still works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I do have backups. So when it does break, I'm not in a crunch. I have backups ready to go. But, you know, that's the testament of these Spellbinders plates and die cutting machine. They keep going. All right, we're going to remove the backing on the foam adhesive, stick it down. I love that Arctic blue, just something a little bit, that the cardstock we use, something a little different than just white. All right, I'm going to have to get kind of up over this here. I think that's good. I think that's good. Yeah, and these plates, I've used them to kit, and if you know what kitting is like, you cut well over 100 of something. They've definitely been used. Well used. All right, there it is. Such kind of a fun, different kind of design. You could always just stamped it, die cut it out, and popped it up too, but this is just a neat look. I like that dimension and the shine. Look at that shine from the Hero Wax. It's so pretty. And the Forever, I really think I like stamping it in that Forever green. I like how it kind of ties in that shine. And I love those greens together, that kiwi and that. It's so pretty. And I've lost the original, so I don't know where it went. But this one we were able to actually get no ripping. Like even the one I did where I tried, I still had a little bit of ripping. If you have ripping though, I should show you how to fix that. I'll do that real quick. So here's one that I made in the past where it ripped. And actually the one that I took photos of and I shared in the instructions, shared online, it's even the one that was the thumbnail for this video. It was ripped too, and I just kind of touched it up. So let me show you how you can kind of touch it up. You need your stencils again, which I've got to figure out where I put them. I need the base stencil number 1 is what I need, because that's the one that's where this leaf is. I'm just not sure where I put it. Oh, here's the original. Found that at least. Oh, I gotta show you a sneak peek. Okay, well, I'm not gonna fix it. One, I can't find the thing, but all you would do is place the stencil back on top, and then you would ink blend with your ink again. I'm a little scared to do this because without the stencil, because I can get outside the lines, but I'm gonna try my best. This will really hide it a lot. So ink blend with my same inks. I would do a little bit of the pine because that's what I did originally. And that really does kind of camouflage it pretty well. There we go. So you can't see that tear quite as much. So if you did get a tear, you can kind of fix it. Most likely it's only going to tear where the ink is. But with the stuffs that we did, the 2 tips that I have for you to try to avoid it, and it typically happens when you're doing it on top of colored cardstock. So if you're doing colored cardstock and you're using a texture medium like Hero Wax or Hero Paste, here are my tips. If you did ink blending before, dry it. You want your panel as dry as possible. So dry your panel, dry all that ink, which we did. We dried it with our heat tool. Once it was dry, then we took our stencil, placed it on top, and then we worked quickly with our wax. Did our wax, and then removed our stencil as fast as we could, and that helped a lot too. The longer that wax is sitting on your stencil, on your paper, the more likely the paper is opening up because of that moisture and then sticking to your stencil. So when you pull off your stencil, you end up pulling off the paper. So those are my tips because that typically happens with colored cardstock and texture mediums with stencils. Okay, so let me show you the kit. I know you guys are probably anxiously waiting for the kit. I know it's not in the water. That was what I thought too, Della, but it's lost because the one in the water is not the one I used for that. But that was a good idea. It's lost, but that's okay. You guys saw basically what I would do. Let me grab the kit. Okay, so now you guys are now getting a sneak peek of the September card kit of the month. We've been sharing sneak peeks. Let me change screens real quick. So we've been sharing sneak peeks on our blog yesterday and Friday. We've been sharing sneak peeks, so you can definitely go and check out some of the amazing inspiration created by the creative team and get a good feel. So if you've been following those, you kind of already know that this release is very Halloween themed. So it's got a bunch of amazing Halloween themed products. I'm going to show you now the September card kit of the month. And again, it's Halloween themed. So let me switch my view again here. There we go. Okay, starting off, let's do it this way. Well, since you saw it already, there is a unicorn pigment ink included. So you get that. You're going to get black watercolor paper. The Hero Arts watercolor paper is amazing. The black is so cool. It's great for using with our metallic sprays, or if you happen to have like metallic watercolors, that's awesome with the black. It's really nice watercolor paper. Also works well with the iridescent embossing powders. They show up beautifully on that. Let me see here. Let me grab some white cardstock so you can actually see the stamp set that's included in the kit. Pull it out. It's amazing. Look at that, guys. Let me bring it down. There you go. Look at how beautiful it is. It's so cool. It's tons of fun Halloween scene building elements. You have this big haunted house. He's so cool. Then you have a bunch of picture or scene building things like a tree, a moon, gates. Those are great. And then you have pumpkins and even gravestones that you can add to really make your scene spooky. Then, of course, we have tons of images in here, like tons of characters, I should say, included. Witch, Frankenstein's bride, trick-or-treaters, ghosts, and there's even a really cool and unique skeleton band. I thought that was really fun. So a really cool set, so fun for creating Halloween cards. A couple sentiments as well. So you get that big, and this is a 6x8 stamp set. Also included are 20 coordinating dies, a ton of dies. Like I can't even fit them on this magnetic sheet here. Let's put it over to the side there. They're basically dies for all of the images. All the images, all the sentiments, there's dies for. The only thing there isn't a die is for the moon, which is easy because you probably own a circle die that will cut out that moon, no problem. So there are a ton of dies. I mean, look at all that. So many. The bats get all cut out, all the skeleton band, even these crows. I mean, everything. And all sentiment. There's 4 sentiments, and there are dies for all of them. So great. We love it when we have dies for a sentiment. There's no giveaway, Dawn. This is I'm just doing a sneak peek. Well, there will be a giveaway when we do the blog hop on Tuesday. Normally do our blog hop on Monday, but because of the holiday, we are not doing a blog hop till Tuesday. So the blog hop, the release, everything is coming Tuesday. You can, though, purchase this kit now. Like you can actually get this kit now, but like the whole reveal and the whole release, because there's some items you can't purchase until Tuesday. That whole reveal, whole release blog hop will happen Tuesday. Sorry for being repetitive. Okay, so this is included in the kit, that huge stamp set, all the coordinating dies. I'm just going to push it up a little bit here. The watercolor paper, the white pigment ink, always handy to have that. Also included is this moon window die. Look at that. It's really big. Here, I have my panel. This is my A2 panel size grid. See how it fills an A2 panel? Very huge. You can use this to create a windowed panel, like card front. I feel like I'm not describing that right, but like a die cut panel. You can use this and die cut out a panel that has a moon and then stick that on, maybe cut over an ink blended background. Look really, really cool. Or you can use the moon itself, the negative, and on your card as well. It has this cool, like spooky, creepy branch going across of it. Just really fun. So I love that die. I know, it's great, guys, right? And then there's this stamp set that kind of coordinates with it. This is the Animal Eyes stamp set. Let me show you this first. It's a 4x3 clear stamp set with a bunch of like silhouetted nocturnal animals. We have, though I don't know, I guess the bird isn't nocturnal, but though all the rest of them is. The owl is, but that guy I don't think he is. But there's those fun silhouetted animals. Then you have a bunch of eyes. Thought those were so cool. How fun would those be if you like stamped them in and poured glow in the dark embossing powder over? Wouldn't that be amazing? Couple sentiments. These work really nicely, I think, with that moon too. So that's a fun set. And let me see here. And oh, here's it all stamped out. So you can kind of see that. And I actually have all the scene building things stamped out. Here's that moon, the negative. And then there's a couple other things. I'll show you actually all these. There's a couple other things that I don't have that are also included in the kit. And I will put them up. I have a picture here. Yes, glow in the dark dawn, right? So here's a panel I created. And let's use some of those images here, just kind of fill it out so you can see how cool it is. That haunted house. And just imagine like coloring in the windows. Or if you just stamped it like the moon, just stamped it on the blended panel, and then your windows would automatically have the color of the background. But I like how you can do it both ways. You can fill it with the gates, lots of other stuff. And I'll talk about these pumpkins too in a minute. Oh, we got to have the tree. The tree's the best. And the creative team was really used the tree so cleverly. There we go. I like that. Look at how cute that, look at how amazing that looks. You know, I think I'm going to turn the tree like that. And then you could put like your trick-or-treaters. Look how fun those look. Put them in. Put the witch in the sky. Have her go over the moon. And you can have some of the skeleton band. There's ghosts. I mean, there's so many images. So fun. Boo. We have all this in it, the pumpkins, just so many fun things. Let's put some of the band out here. Let's put this lady there. Just so fun. You can just build such fun scenes. I really am excited about this set. Another thing to do think about is you can always do kind of no line coloring to these images. If you stamp them in Hero Arts contour inks, even though they're like a silhouetted image, stamp them in Hero Arts contour ink, which is like a no line coloring ink, and then you can color over the image with Copics or alcohol markers. Just use that light impression as a guide to where to color. And that's how I did that. Yes, thank you, Rosie, for answering that question. This is the card kit of the month. Okay, so let me show you. So you kind of got a good idea. We have the stamp set, the dies, the moon window die, the smaller 4x3 animal eyes, the unicorn pigment ink, the watercolor. Let me show you now the other things that I don't actually have, but are also included in the kits. Let me grab the picture. I have ink on 3 that does fade away. Oh, there you go, Dom. That works. Yep, totally. Just need some kind of like, and it doesn't even have to be like a no line coloring ink. It could just be a light ink. But here is the kit. There you go. So that's everything. Oh, I also have the glow in the dark. I forgot about that. There's a glow in the dark lacquer pen, which I will grab and show you in just a second. I don't think I can turn the lights off. Otherwise I'd show you glow in the dark. But you can see the 2 other items besides the glow in the dark lacquer pen, which is up at the top. But there are 2 transfers. The black and white transfers. You can see they're large. They're going to be 6x8, and you get a black one that has different images than the white one. The white one's behind it. So those are very cool. I wish I had them because I would be using them. I love hero transfers. They're so fun. And I especially am excited about that white one because that looks like heat embossing. When you apply it on colored cardstock, it stays nice and white, looks like heat embossing, but it's error proof, guys. It's so easy to use. And then at the bottom, you see we have two decorative tapes. We have a white pumpkin decorative tape and a black crow's decorative tape. So those are the two I don't have. I don't have the decorative tapes and I don't have the transfer sheets, but I have everything else. And let me show you that glow-in-the-dark lacquer pen. So cool. So you can use this to color in the windows of the house. That would be so cool. You could use it. Rosie made an incredible card where she used the lacquer and paired it with this guy. And she made it so the moon glowed in the dark. I love that card, Rosie. It was such a good idea. Let's see if there's any questions. Yes, she said, Rosie, I use my lacquer pen like a wax or paste. Yes. And it turned out so cool. And so like every release, we will have videos coming. I will have a video covering the whole card kit, as well as all the monthly minis, which again, for these make-alongs, we use the card kit and then one monthly mini. For this live, we used the August card kit and the August layering stencil of the month. So I will have a video coming out on, I was gonna say August, on September 3rd. That's Tuesday when the release is, or I go over all the card kit, the monthly mini, and the whole studio. Then we'll have the Extraordinary Extras video coming out that day as well. So you can watch those videos and see the whole release. I will also have a spotlight. So where I go over a spotlight live, where I go over the entire September release. Excuse me. That will be Tuesday as well. A lot coming out on Tuesday, I know. Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. So I believe that's later. 7 p.m. Eastern. Went wrong way. But yeah, that's already up on the YouTube channel and the Facebook group. So you can go ahead and go find those upcoming lives and click the notification so you can get notified when I do that live. But yeah, that'll go over all of it. So yes. Yay, Dawn's going to be there. Awesome. I can't wait. No, that's Lee. That's fine. But yeah, that will be when I forgot to mention the giveaway. That will be when we have a giveaway for that, for this release in the blog hub all on Tuesday. So Tuesday is the big day. We will see you Tuesday. I'll see you hopefully for live. Definitely check out my videos that are kind of overview. They're short. They're not longer than 10 minutes. We can see the whole release quickly. And check out the blog hop. Let me switch over. Check out the blog hop too, because there's going to be tons of amazing inspiration. If you like Halloween, if you like making Halloween cards, this release is for you. I think because I'm an October baby, I love it. I'm so excited about this release. It's so good. And I can't wait for you guys to see everything, because this was just the card kit. There's so much more. There's the Extraordinary Extras, the monthly minis. So a bunch more coming. And again, it'll be Tuesday. And we actually release everything Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific. So I think that makes it, is that 1 Eastern? Well, I think that's right, but I'll see it then. Okay, guys. Great. Okay. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on your weekend, creating 2 cards. I hope you enjoyed the makes. I think they were so fun. I tried to do something new that you hadn't seen before this time. So I hope that you guys liked that, some new cards. And these are still available from the August release. So if it's definitely something you see you want to get, check it out. That's still available. But these items, the kit from August, the layering stencil from August, will be, once it's sold out, it's sold out. So if it's definitely something you like, you want to pick it up soon. All right, and if you see the kit, the September kit, and you want to pick it up, you can purchase that now. Even though it hasn't released yet, you can purchase that now just by going to the subscription page. and subscribing. You will be subscribing though. It's not a one-time, but you can, I think, do a one-time purchase too. I think you can too. But all the info's there. I know you can do a one-time purchase. I just don't know if you can do it before we actually release. I don't think you can, but you can always opt out and stuff as well. But they're amazing. The card kits, you get so much. They're such a good value. All right, guys, I'm done talking. Thank you so much. I will see you on Tuesday for the release. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye, everyone. Yes, you can skip, Dawn. I just saw your message. You can skip. Always you can skip. You do have to like go into your account there's a way there you can skip. Hope that made sense. Are there any other questions? Nope. Okay, bye everybody. Have a good rest of your weekend.